So about a month ago, I published a video in which I talked about how I actually make my videos and how you can take that same concept and apply it to real estate. Ever since then, people have been asking me for a follow-up video talking more about it. What do you use to record? What kind of accessories do you need? How do you edit your videos? So in this video, not only am I going to talk more about how we actually make the videos, but I'm going to show you the accessories, the cameras, and the editing software that I use. I'm also going to be explaining why I use some of these things. If you're someone who wants to make videos to promote your business, especially if you're in real estate, this is the video for you to watch because it's not coming from the perspective of an expert videographer. This is coming from the perspective of a person who owns a small business and started using videos to promote that business without having any special skill in making videos. And if you're in real estate, I'm also going to share with you some of the industry trends that are happening with video tours, so make sure you watch the video all the way through to see that as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Before I get down to the technicals, the most important part of any video you make that will make it effective more than anything else is the humanity of the video. When I did my original video on how I make my videos, I didn't do that video in my office. I didn't even do it dressed up in a shirt like this. I did that video while hiking in the woods with my dog and it started snowing in the middle of the video. It's humanity. It's more natural. It's not forced. People receive that a lot better than they would if it was obviously scripted. Even this isn't really scripted. I wasn't planning on filming this shot, but the angle was right, it looked right. I've still got my work clothes on, but I'm out here and just kind of enjoying things. And so here I am doing the shot. And I don't look all prettied up either. You can tell I've been working all day. I also haven't had a haircut in months because of this whole corona business. So I didn't look all prettied up like you see in the movies either. Even though I don't consider myself a video guy by any means, I am getting closer to being a professional. Much like the experts in Hollywood, I've been doing a lot of sequels lately too. So as far as editing software goes, when I first started doing videos, I actually didn't do any editing at all. I would literally shoot a one shot, 2-3 minutes, sometimes as long as 5 minutes, but never really more than that. But I wouldn't put it through any editing at all. And if you're just starting to do videos, especially if it's a way to promote your business, if that's what you have to do to get a video put out, then I encourage that. If you get too caught up with the editing, you're going to use that as an excuse not to get the video published for a long period of time, and you may never get it published at all. The hardest thing about doing something like this is getting past the emotional side of just the stage fright, I guess I put it. You're putting your face on the internet for everyone to see, and that's kind of mind-boggling if you've never done it before. So not only do I consider it acceptable to publish an unedited video, I actually encourage it. If that's what it takes to get you publishing videos and putting them out there, then do it. Now that being said, I do have two different editing softwares I want to show you, and these are desktop-based. These are, one of them is free, one of them is paid. Now, are these the only two softwares out there? No, there's a lot of them nowadays, but these are both Apple products. Apple has been making video editing software for a very long time. They've always been very media focused, both in the way their machines are made and the way they develop their software. So they have two very good products here that I've enjoyed using. The first one is called iMovie. I'm going to show you this here now. So this one here is iMovie. If you own a Macintosh computer, you probably already have this pre-installed, ready to go. I did push my libraries out, so I don't really have much here to show you in terms of what a timeline looks like for editing, but your video clips and all go down here. You import your different files here, and then you have this control bar over here. So here's the problem with iMovie that I experienced. When you actually push out the video file, I noticed a lot of aberrations would appear, especially if I've been doing a lot of cutting. And my buddy, put this pretty well. It's a consumer grade software, iMovie. It's not a professional grade software. The other one I'm going to show you here is going to be a professionally made software, and I'll have a lot more to show you on that one. So because of the problems I had with iMovie, I ultimately did have to get a professional grade software. Now, I'm going to give a quick honorable mention here to Adobe Premiere because that is considered by many to be the gold standard for video editing softwares right now. Adobe does have a reputation for their software just being a little more difficult to use. Like I've said in the past, I don't consider myself a video editing expert, nor do I consider myself even a marketing guy, really. I'm a tax guy. So me, the tax guy, the accountant, has to have something he can use. And for that purpose, this has been very great. So Final Cut it's $300 to purchase it. They currently offer a 90-day free trial, and the free trial has very little limitations on it at all. So if you want to try this out for free, go for it. So in this instance, I can show you a little bit more. You have the library, you have the event, and then within the event, you have the projects. And the project is what will actually populate down here. So I have these different pieces within here, and then I have these projects. Editing in this has been pretty straightforward. I mean, it took me a couple of minutes to figure out the different commands. So like I said, this one has a 90-day free trial with very little limitation. It is $300 to purchase it. I have purchased it. I plan to use this for the foreseeable future. And I haven't had any sort of aberration issues or anything like that with this. Realistically speaking, it shouldn't take you a terrible amount of time to do your editing. I mean, this one I just showed you took me a couple hours all in all, and that's one of the more heavily produced videos that I've done. So the typical video, it's only a couple minutes long. I mean, that might take me an hour tops to film, edit, and publish. Frankly, depending on what kind of connection you're using, the amount of time it takes to upload the final video to YouTube or BombBomb or whatever you're using might actually take longer than the creating the video itself did. So keep that in mind as well. Alright, so here's the actual filming equipment that I use. Now, interestingly enough, my original tripod broke the day that I shot my first video on how I create videos. So this is a new one that I got. It was actually cheaper than the old one, and it's much better quality. The old one was, maybe about yay tall. This one, you have more of a base here. I got this from Amazon for like 30 or 40 bucks, so it's very inexpensive to acquire one of these. It's got these little clips, and if you open these up, hold on, if we open up one of these clips, each one of them is telescopic, so, ta-da! So this is something that can be set up as a base. It's also something that can be carried around if you're gonna do filming. And up here, this piece that goes on the end, there's actually a lot of different pieces you can put on here. Now, the one I have in here now is just for holding the phone. So the phone would obviously go in there. There's obviously this top part here slides, so you can put the phone inside the mount. I'm gonna do that here in a minute, but before I do, just want to show you some other stuff here. Over here, this is the microphone. This was like, I don't know, $10. This is a lapel mic like you see on, talk shows and stuff. This just clips onto your shirt. Now, like I said, it's very simple. It just runs a normal jack, standard jack, audio jack, 3.5 millimeter. So, anything you plug this into, it's pretty plug and play. Now, if you have an iPhone like I do, your iPhone came with this little thingamajig. It's got the lightning port at the end, and then it has an in for the jack. So this actually works not only with headphones, but with microphones. So if I plug that in there, and if I were to put this end into my iPhone, it will work completely plug and play. I can plug that in, immediately start filming, and this microphone will work. Using something like that reduces a lot of the background noise, wind noise, echo, things like that. Now, it also came with a few other things. Now this didn't actually come with the microphone. This came with the tripod. Most tripods you buy nowadays I think will include them, but basically it's just a little button. I think it's already turned on. And then, you have two buttons. This one has two buttons on it, but basically it's just a remote shutter. So if I press this, the video would stop recording. So that's how this works. Obviously, there's a lot of uses that would have. And then the microphone from Pop Voice came with this. This is actually a little light. It's got a non-marring tab at the bottom. It's got like a little rubber in there. And that'll stop it from marring your phone. But there's a button on the back, and I believe this is supposed to be rechargeable. I haven't used it too much. I'm starting to use it more. So it's got a couple different settings, and that's used to enhance light. If you're filming something that's a little bit dim, especially indoor filming, I'm starting to use this more. So that's the equipment. Let's actually show you how I can run this tripod. Say I was going to give you a little tour of my suite here. It's still telescopic. The phone's in there pretty secure, so I could loosen this up and do this. So I just extended it so I have a little more range here. Basically, think of this as an efficiency apartment that's got furnishings in it. If I were trying to rent this, I want to give someone a look around, this is a great way to do it. So that's basically it as far as the filming equipment goes. Not a whole lot to this. Audio, a little bit of lighting, and tripod. Like I said before, I don't consider myself a marketing guy, even though some people consider me one. I definitely don't consider myself a media guy or a filmographer or whatever you call it. So, this is the sort of stuff that anyone can take basic things like this and use them to great effect. So now, of course, the last thing you're going to need if you're going to make any videos is an actual camera. Now, this is where my lack of being a videographer, or whatever they're called, actually comes out, because most of my videos to date have been filmed with this and nothing else. Just an iPhone. This is actually fairly new. I got this late last year. I'd had an iPhone, I think 7 up to that point. I did get the 11 Pro as opposed to the standard 11. And the reason for that was because I knew full well that I film a lot of content using the cameras, and it had 3 camera lenses, so I saw that and went, oh, that's perfect. There were a few other things I liked about the Pro, but the funny thing is that these get very little use. I mainly use, the camera in the front here. The point I'm trying to make here is you don't need anything fancy to get started with video. You can literally take whatever smartphone you have and just start working with that. So the question is raised, well, Dan, you're the guy who doesn't know video cameras or anything like that, but you're obviously filming your iPhone with something. And I am. So this is something that I quite literally acquired the day that these particular shots are being done. This is a GoPro. This is the Hero 8. It was recommended to me by my sales guy, and for the type of content I like to do, I do a lot of outdoor shots. This made a lot of sense for me because I do a lot of wood shots, I do a lot of beach shots, and, I don't know how I feel about setting up my pricey iPhone, in the middle of the sand or around a bunch of rocks on a tripod. So this is a better alternative to that. I can get some accessories to encase this in that are going to make it much more suitable for those types of environments. And then aside from that, I want to do more Q&A for y'all, for those who follow my content. And setting up the iPhone camera, just like the prep involved to set it up and to take it down, it's a little bit more of a pain in the neck. Something like this, I can pull this out of my pocket, hit the top button, and just start filming. And it's a little bit challenging to work with at first glance because the screen's back here and the camera's here, so I can't see myself when I'm filming with this. But I can stage the shot, and it's not as hard to work with as you might think. For this particular model, they are going to make a mod that's going to have a screen that flips up here as opposed to just being on the back. So eventually, you will be able to view yourself and film at the same time. This does sync up with my phone, so I can use my phone as an extra screen of sorts. Something that's been growing in popularity among real estate professionals is a 360-degree camera, and GoPro does make one of those. So there is a version of this that does 360-degree camera angles, and if you're going to do a video tour for a property, that might be more suitable than something like this. I definitely have never used a 360 camera, so I don't know much about them, but if that is something that's appropriate to your profession, it might be worth looking into if you're going to start doing a lot more content to promote your business. So that's it. About to take Athena to the beach to have some fun. Oh, I'm sorry, did you hear me? But before I go, I just want to reiterate the importance of the human element in these videos. When I first started making videos, that was literally the only thing that I had. So if all you have to work on growing your business with video is nothing more than that human element and an old smartphone, that's all you need to get started. So that shouldn't be an excuse to stop you. Anyway, somebody's very, very expectant right now, so we're going to go to the beach and have some fun. I hope everyone got a lot of value from this, and I'll see you in the next video. We going to the beach? We gonna go to the beach?